Good day, hi and welcome. Okay, so as I was saying in the last video about my band situation right back in the 90s. So since that time, like I say, I've been basically jam nights, the odd jamboree, anytime I can get on stage, whatever, but no dedicated, I'm in a band, just kind of like every time I go in a band, it's some sort of a, and there is a band, it's some sort of a wing it kind of improvisation blues jam or something like that. So not that I don't have fun with it, of course I have fun with it, but it's not the same as doing something really well rehearsed and, you know, really blowing people's socks off with your incredible playing abilities, right? So for some reason, or many reasons, you know, just the adulting thing, where as you get older, or as soon as you're no longer a teenager, it's hard to get people together to form a band. This is what gets most people, right? It's like, yeah, we'll jam. Yeah, it's like 4 years later and you still haven't jammed yet. You know what I mean? So I focused more on the one-man band thing with the idea if I go with enough jam nights, I'll meet enough musicians that eventually you'll find the people that, you know, that are really serious about playing, chasing it as a really well-paying hobby or even possibly a career. So that does happen, right? Whatever. But it's hard, right? It's hard to get band members. So for me, I'm like going with I'm gonna record my stuff, whatever. If I ever get a chance to play it live, great. You know what I mean? Now I'm a guitar player, right? But I'm also a multi-instrumentalist. And just, you know, not to brag or like that, but just to tell you what I play, you know, pretty much any instrument I touch, I learn how to play, right? But the instruments that I own, okay, are guitars, obviously, maybe too many, you know, so may debate, maybe not enough. You know, electric and acoustic. I play bass, I now have a bass. I play mandolin, violin, ukulele, and whatever. I got a recorder, I got a fife, the most hateful instrument ever, and a couple of harmonicas, stuff like that. But I mainly, you know, doing the string instrument thing, right? And I want to record, right? So, you know, if I can't be in a band, the next best thing is home recording, right? You know, at least you get something. And then, of course, I make the odd YouTube video of me just, you know, being stupid on the guitar and stuff like that. And, you know, I have fun with it, right? Last night, I just got home from work, and I made myself nice, good barbecue pork chop. It's really tasty, really good. And I was just like, you know, like I'm always thinking of the next, you know, like when I get it next time on stage, what am I going to do, right? And I've got all this stuff planned out and stuff like that I've rehearsed and stuff like that. You guys obviously haven't heard it yet because, you know, I try to do covers on stage and do a different cover every time I play on stage, but I've also been introducing originals as well on stage, but I just haven't had the finances or whatever to hit the jam nights yet, you know. Oh, look, baby goats. Oh, they're not baby goats, but they're little goats. Ah, little goats. Hey, little goats. Anyway, this road is rough. I go onto Facebook and I hear the ding, you got a message, right? Okay, no problem. I don't mind that. And anyway, I'm like, holy jeez, that's a line of cars behind me. I guess nobody else does the speed limit. They must all hate me. It's like Saturday morning, you need to be there even faster. And I'm just like, no. This is a dead man's curve here, so I usually pull off, let everybody go by, rather than try to stop everybody, because you just never know who's going to be coming the other way. And I don't like having a big line of traffic on a blind corner like that. I bet you that person behind me is thinking the same thing. Okay, let this guy go. how we do. Yeah, see, like got a big line of traffic coming that way. So anyway, I get the ding. And it's a guy named Paul. Pretty much everybody I know is named Paul right now. He's was in a band called Jimmy's Dead, and it's a really funny story how they got the name. It was like they were just standing there, and this bird just like dies in front of them. And one of them goes, "Hey, look, Jimmy's dead," and that's how they got the name for the band. Okay, and you can see some of their songs on my channel there, where they played live for my buddy Paul for his wedding reception, right? Anyway, it's the guitar player from that. I've been watching some of the stuff he's been doing. He does a lot of home recording and stuff. He has a YouTube channel, everything like that. So anyway, he's like, "Hey, Reg, I'll get right to the point. You want to play bass for us?" And I'm like, but they're pretty far away from me. That's the problem. But we're going to see if we can make it work. I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I said, where are you guys? They said, "We're up in Maniwaki." So it's like the same as me driving to Ottawa. It's like over an hour, right? And I'm like, you know, the gas on this thing would kill me. You know what I mean? But the drummer and the singer, who are brothers, live in my neighboring town. So if they could squeeze me in the vehicle, I don't mind splurging for gas. You know what I mean? And they only jam every 2 weeks or so. So I'd have to, you know, get some of the material down. I told him, send me the set list anyway. So as a guy who's only played bass on stage a couple of times, and really, you know, like I'm not an experienced bass player. You know, I admit that. I've learned, like in high school, I took bass lessons, and I've been a guitar player for you know, pretty much 45 years out of my 50 years of life, right? But you know, like playing the bass for 5 minutes is one thing. Playing it for 3 hours, you know, like, you know, after the first set, like, you're going to get really sloppy. You say, well, a bass is easy. I'll just play the pick. That'll tire you. Pick will tire out even faster than your fingers, right? So what happened was their bass player, who they've had for about 1.5 years, wasn't happy or whatever. I don't know all the politics of it, so I won't get into that because I don't know. But he said, yeah, he goes, they jammed, and then he didn't show up for the jam, or he just said, he threw in the towel or whatever. He says, yeah, I'm out. You know, I guess wanted to do something else, right? Fair enough. You know, that happens, you know, and they're looking for a guy that's going to stick around for a long time. And I'm one of those take it where it goes kind of guys, where it's like, okay, I'll stick around if there's, you know, if we're a busy band, then yeah. But you know, like again, these are working class men. They're washboard. There we go. They're busy guys, so you know, they might not have the same vision I have, but you know, like a gig once in a while, no problem. But I want to do paying gigs, right? I want to make money with this. I don't care if I get rich with it. I just don't want to, you know, like there's no reason not to make money doing gigs. You know what I mean? Like in this day and age, there's enough places that pay and pay well enough. Like even if you don't get gigs, you know, especially if not your goal isn't to play gigs all the time. Like, you know, like maybe 1 gig a month, or you know, whatever, a couple of gigs a year. You might as well hold out and book something that's going to pay you, even if it doesn't pay you well, just enough to pay you, you know, cover the gas there and back and whatever, you know, cover the night, maybe a little bit of profit. Right, but there are some places that pay really ridiculously well, and if you can get one of those gigs, and I used to get gigs like that, you know, like back in the 90s, as I say all the time. Some of the shows we were playing, you know, like 5-man or 5-piece band, or some of the 3 or 4-piece bands. We got paid $600 a night. We'd average about 3, you know, 275, 175, and 300 was kind of like the normal back then, right? But that was just sticking in Ottawa, where, you know, so look at this truck. What the hell? Look at the red wheel on the back. That looks so strange. That is a jacked up truck. That is definitely not a working man's truck. Mind you, the guy, like that guy owns a company. That's a show truck. You know, that's crazy. Anyway, long story short, I'm like, yeah, we'll see if we can find a way to make this work. So it's not a done deal, but I may actually be in a band called Jimmy's Dead now. And that's really cool if I am. But I'm going to be the bass player. And now, thing about the bass player is, How did he know I played bass? Well, this is why I do videos. This is why I like, now mind you, my Facebook's only for friends and family or whatever, people that I know personally. But I post like videos of me playing bass. I'll post even if I don't have an amp, you know, like just, yeah, here's me noodling around, right? So people know this. I saw him do that. And he went and found some of my videos, and he heard me, oh, you're doing the 3-finger thing on the bass. He goes, that's pretty cool. I said, yeah. I said, I'm not perfect at it yet, you know, like, you know. So they got a gig coming up on July 22nd in the neighboring town, which is perfect for me. So if I can get, and it's only an hour-and-a-half gig, so if I get, that'd be a perfect first bass gig for me. The only problem is on the list, like most of the songs on the list should be no problem whatsoever, but there's one on the list that's going to be a bit of a, it's a chore for even a guitar player, right? And so for a new scrap metal, I'll get it on the way out. I hope that's there on the way out. Yeah, so you got a newbie bass player. Okay, we'll bring him in. He's not a dedicated bass player. You know, I've only had my bass since March or whatever. And okay, no problem. Let's you know, play some Green Day songs. Okay, Green Day, no problem, nice and easy. You know, could do some, most of that with a pick actually. You know, if you want. You know, go easy on yourself to a degree. Everything else, yeah, you know, moderate pace, nothing really fast. But you know, rock, hard rock, metal, everything. What's the last song of the night? Master of Puppets. I kid you not. We're going to be playing Master of Puppets. I'm like, okay, I've played it on the guitar. I've done Metallica's covers